The morning holds a quiet power that many people ignore. Before the world begins sending messages, demands, and distractions, there is a small window where the mind is calm and open. In that moment, you have the opportunity to shape the direction of your thoughts. Today I want to share 7 life lessons that took 10 years to fully understand. Lessons inspired by Stoic philosophy and the writings of thinkers like Seneca and Epictetus. When the morning begins with chaos, the mind becomes reactive. But when the morning begins with reflection and discipline, the mind becomes steady and focused. Many of the most powerful lessons in life do not arrive instantly. They unfold slowly through years of experience. Mistakes teach us. Failures force us to reflect. Challenges push us to develop strength we never knew we had. Stoicism helps organize these lessons into a philosophy of resilience, clarity, and self-mastery. Over time, these insights can completely change the way you approach life. Before continuing, if you enjoy content that helps you strengthen your mindset and develop discipline through Stoic wisdom, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos designed to help you grow. Now let's begin. You cannot control everything, but you can control your response. One of the hardest truths in life is realizing how little we actually control. For many years, I believed that happiness would arrive once everything began going according to my plans, if people behaved the way I expected, if opportunities appeared at the right time, if circumstances unfolded exactly the way I imagined them. But life rarely cooperates with our expectations. People misunderstand us, plans fall apart, unexpected obstacles appear without warning. At first, these situations feel frustrating because the mind believes life should be predictable. We imagine that if we work hard enough or plan carefully enough, we can eliminate uncertainty. But Stoic philosophy teaches something very different. The Stoics believed peace does not come from controlling the world around you. Peace comes from controlling your response to the world. This realization changes everything. Every day something unexpected will happen. Someone may criticize you unfairly. A situation may become inconvenient. A plan may collapse at the last moment. But in every one of those situations, you still possess one powerful ability: choice. You can choose anger or patience. You can choose resentment or understanding. You can choose discouragement or determination. The event itself may be outside your control, but your response always belongs to you. This idea appears repeatedly in the writings of Epictetus. He taught that human suffering often comes from confusing what we can control with what we cannot. We cannot control other people's opinions. We cannot control unexpected events. We cannot control the past, but we can control our judgments, our actions, our attitude. When you truly understand this distinction, something powerful happens. Life stops feeling like a series of random attacks. Instead, it becomes a series of opportunities to practice discipline. Imagine waking up each morning already accepting that challenges will appear. Instead of being surprised by problems, you become prepared for them. Preparation creates calmness. Calmness creates clarity, and clarity allows you to respond wisely instead of reacting emotionally. Over time, this shift changes your entire relationship with difficulty. Problems stop feeling like enemies. They begin feeling like training. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your patience, resilience, and perspective. This mindset does not eliminate hardship, but it eliminates unnecessary suffering. Because once you accept that you cannot control everything, you stop wasting energy fighting reality. Instead, you focus your energy on the one thing that truly belongs to you, your response. And that simple shift can transform your entire life. If lessons like this resonate with you and you want to continue exploring Stoic wisdom, subscribing to the channel helps you stay connected to more ideas designed to strengthen your mindset. Because mastering your response may be one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. 2. Comfort quietly destroys ambition. Comfort is one of the most seductive forces in human life. It feels harmless. After all, everyone wants comfort, a peaceful routine, a life without constant struggle. There is nothing wrong with enjoying moments of ease. But comfort becomes dangerous when it quietly turns into complacency. When life becomes too comfortable, growth begins to slow. Ambition fades, curiosity weakens, and the part of you that once wanted to challenge yourself slowly becomes quiet. This does not happen suddenly. It happens gradually. You begin choosing what feels easy instead of what helps you grow. You delay difficult work until tomorrow. You avoid challenges because they feel inconvenient. You tell yourself there will be time later. Days pass, weeks pass, and before you realize it, months or even years have disappeared. The Stoics understood this danger very clearly. They believed that a strong mind should occasionally practice discomfort. Not extreme suffering, but small voluntary challenges that strengthen your resilience. The philosopher Seneca wrote about this idea frequently. He suggested occasionally living simply, eating basic food, sleeping in modest conditions, experiencing small forms of hardship intentionally, not because hardship is enjoyable, but because it reminds you that comfort is not necessary for happiness. When you practice living with less, fear begins to lose its power. You realize that your strength does not depend on perfect conditions. Your confidence does not depend on convenience. Your ability to move forward does not depend on comfort. And once you realize that, something powerful happens. You become less afraid of difficulty. Instead of avoiding challenges, you begin approaching them with curiosity. Because you understand that challenges are the training ground for growth. Every skill you admire in others was built through effort. Every strong mind was shaped by resistance. Every meaningful achievement required persistence. Growth rarely appears where everything feels easy. It appears where effort becomes a daily habit. Think about the moments in your life where you learned the most. They were probably not moments of comfort. They were moments where you had to adapt, moments where you had to overcome uncertainty, moments where you had to push beyond what felt familiar. Those moments are the moments that shape character. And that is why the Stoics believed we should not run away from difficulty. We should learn to welcome it. Because difficulty reveals who we truly are. It tests our discipline. It strengthens our patience. It reminds us that we are capable of far more than we often believe. Each morning offers a simple choice. You can choose comfort, or you can choose growth. Comfort will make the day easier, but growth will make your life stronger. And over time, those choices accumulate. A person who consistently chooses growth slowly transforms their entire future. If ideas like this resonate with you, consider subscribing to the channel so you can continue exploring Stoic principles that help build discipline and resilience. Because the strongest minds are not built through comfort, they are built through challenge. 3. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever spend. There is something strange about the way human beings think about time. When we are young, time feels endless. Days feel long, Years feel distant. We believe we will always have another opportunity later to pursue our goals, later to repair relationships, later to become the person we want to be. But life slowly reveals a different truth. Time moves faster than we expect. Years pass quietly. Opportunities appear and disappear. And eventually we realize something we did not fully understand before. Time is the most valuable resource we will ever possess. Money can be recovered. Mistakes can often be corrected. But time moves in only one direction, forward. The Stoic philosophers reflected deeply on this reality. They did not do this to become pessimistic. They did it to become intentional. The philosopher Seneca once wrote that it is not that life is short, it is that we waste much of it. Think about how easily time disappears. A few minutes of distraction becomes an hour becomes an afternoon becomes a day, and before long, another year has passed. The Stoics believed that becoming aware of time was one of the most important steps toward living wisely. Because when you realize that time is limited, your priorities change. You stop investing energy in meaningless conflicts. You become less interested in impressing people who do not truly matter. You begin asking deeper questions. How am I spending my days? Am I moving closer to the life I want? Am I investing my time in learning, growth, and meaningful relationships? The philosopher Epictetus believed that people often waste time worrying about things outside their control. While doing this, they forget to focus on the one thing that truly belongs to them, the present moment. Each morning you receive a new portion of time. It is like a quiet gift, a blank page. But once the day ends, that page is written forever. You cannot erase it. You cannot return to it. The only question is how you choose to use it. This awareness is not meant to create pressure. It is meant to create clarity. Because when you value time, you begin living differently. You become more intentional about your habits. You become more thoughtful about your choices. You begin filling your days with actions that move your life forward. Small improvements, small acts of discipline, small moments of reflection. Over time, these small actions accumulate into something extraordinary. A meaningful life, not a perfect life, but a life that feels purposeful. A life where your time is invested rather than wasted. And when you begin approaching each morning with this awareness, something powerful happens. You stop drifting. You start directing your life. If reflections like this help you think more deeply about how you use your time, consider subscribing to the channel so you can continue exploring Stoic ideas designed to bring clarity and intention into everyday life. Because when you learn to value time, you begin learning how to truly live. 4. Your thoughts shape your reality. There is a quiet force that influences almost every moment of your life. It is invisible. It does not appear in front of you like an obstacle or a person. Yet it quietly shapes how you experience everything. That force is your thoughts. Two people can encounter the same situation and experience it in completely different ways. One person sees failure. Another person sees a lesson. One person sees rejection. Another person sees redirection. The event itself may be identical, but the interpretation is different. Stoic philosophy teaches that many of our emotional struggles do not come from events themselves. They come from the judgments we attach to those events. Something difficult happens. Immediately the mind creates a story. This always happens to me. I am not good enough. Nothing ever works out. These thoughts feel real, but they are not objective truths. They are interpretations, and interpretations can change. This is one of the most powerful ideas within Stoic philosophy. The philosopher Epictetus taught that people are disturbed not by events, but by the opinions they form about events. If this is true, it means something remarkable. It means the way you experience life is deeply connected to the way you interpret life. When something goes wrong, your mind has two possible paths. One path leads toward frustration and self-doubt. The other path leads toward curiosity and learning. Both paths begin with the same event, but the direction changes based on the thoughts you choose to cultivate. This is why the morning mindset is so important. When you wake up each morning, your thoughts begin forming the lens through which you will interpret the day. If you expect the world to be unfair, your mind will constantly search for evidence of unfairness. If you expect people to disappoint you, every mistake will feel like confirmation of that belief. But if you approach the day with a Stoic perspective, something different happens. You expect challenges, but you also expect opportunities to learn from them. You expect moments of frustration, but you also expect the chance to practice patience. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What can this teach me?" That small shift changes everything. Problems stop feeling like enemies. They become teachers. Every obstacle becomes a chance to strengthen your discipline, your patience, and your perspective. Over time, this habit of interpretation begins transforming your entire experience of life. You become less reactive, more thoughtful, more calm in situations that once caused stress. Because you realize something powerful. You cannot always control what happens, but you can train your mind to interpret those events in ways that strengthen you rather than weaken you. If ideas like this resonate with you and you want to continue developing a disciplined mindset, consider subscribing to the channel, because the mind is powerful. And when trained wisely, it can transform even the most difficult experiences into growth. 5. Self-respect is stronger than approval. Many people spend a large part of their lives chasing approval. They want recognition for their work, praise for their accomplishments, validation that they are doing the right thing. At first, approval feels satisfying. A compliment from someone we respect, recognition from our peers, support from people around us. For a moment, it feels like proof that we are moving in the right direction. But approval is fragile, because approval depends on other people, and other people's opinions are constantly changing. Someone who praises you today may criticize you tomorrow. Someone who supports you today may misunderstand you later. If your happiness depends on approval, your peace becomes unstable. It rises and falls based on the opinions of others. The Stoics recognized this problem long ago. They believed a wise person should focus on something far stronger than approval: character. Instead of asking whether people approve of you, ask a different question. Did I act according to my values? Did I behave with honesty? Did I remain calm during difficulty? Did I treat others with fairness? These questions do not depend on public opinion. They depend on personal integrity. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly that it is foolish to worry about the opinions of others. Most people are too busy worrying about their own lives to truly understand yours. So why allow their temporary opinions to control your peace of mind? True confidence comes from self-respect. And self-respect develops when your actions align with your principles, when you act with honesty even when no one is watching, when you remain calm during moments of pressure, when you choose integrity instead of convenience. Each time you act according to your values, your confidence quietly grows. Not because someone praised you, but because you know you acted with integrity. This kind of confidence is very different from the confidence created by approval. Approval is loud but temporary. Self-respect is quiet but lasting. It does not require applause. It does not require validation. It exists because you know who you are. And each morning offers a chance to strengthen that identity. Before the world begins judging you, decide the kind of person you want to be. Then spend the day living according to those principles. If you focus on your character instead of your reputation, something interesting happens. Your life becomes simpler. You stop performing for approval. You stop worrying about every opinion that appears around you. Instead, you focus on becoming someone you respect. And once you achieve that, the opinions of others lose their power. If you enjoy exploring Stoic wisdom that helps strengthen character and self-discipline, subscribing to the channel will help you continue developing this mindset. Because true confidence does not come from the outside world. It comes from within. 6. Patience is a hidden form of power. The modern world moves very quickly. People expect fast results, instant progress, immediate success. We see stories online about people achieving incredible things in short periods of time, and slowly a dangerous idea begins forming in the mind. That meaningful change should happen quickly, but real growth rarely follows that timeline. Wisdom takes time. Mastery takes time. Character takes time. The Stoic philosophers understood something that modern culture often forgets. Patience is not weakness. Patience is strength, because patience allows you to continue moving forward even when progress feels slow. It allows you to remain committed when motivation disappears. It allows you to trust the process of improvement even when the results are not immediately visible. The philosopher Epictetus often reminded his students that developing virtue and wisdom was not something that could be rushed. It required practice, daily effort, small consistent improvements repeated over long periods of time. Think about any skill you admire: a musician mastering their instrument, an athlete developing their strength, a writer refining their craft. None of these achievements appear suddenly. They are built quietly through repetition, through persistence, through patience. Yet many people abandon their goals far too early. They expect dramatic change within a short period of time, and when the results appear slowly, they assume their efforts are not working. But growth often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible, just as a tree grows roots long before it grows tall. Every small action you repeat each day is shaping your future. A few pages of reading every day becomes knowledge. A few minutes of reflection every morning becomes wisdom. A few disciplined habits repeated consistently become a transformed life. But only if you remain patient, because the greatest transformations rarely happen suddenly. They happen gradually, quietly, over long periods of time. And this is where patience becomes powerful. Patience protects you from frustration. Patience allows you to stay committed even when progress feels slow. Patience gives your efforts enough time to produce results. Each morning offers the opportunity to take one more step forward. It may be a small step, but small steps repeated every day eventually lead to extraordinary progress. If you continue walking long enough, the distance becomes remarkable. The Stoics believed that wisdom was not something you achieved once, it was something you practiced daily. Through reflection, through discipline, through patience. And if you approach your life with this perspective, something interesting happens. You stop rushing. You stop comparing your progress to others. You stop feeling discouraged when results take time. Instead, you focus on something far more important: consistency. Because consistency guided by patience can achieve far more than sudden bursts of effort. If lessons like this help you think differently about growth and discipline, consider subscribing to the channel so you can continue exploring Stoic ideas designed to strengthen your mindset. Because patience may be one of the most underestimated forms of power. 7. Discipline creates true freedom. Many people believe freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. At first, that idea sounds appealing. No restrictions, no structure, no obligations. But when life has no discipline, something unexpected happens. Time disappears into distractions. Goals remain unfinished. Potential remains unrealized. Without discipline, freedom becomes chaos. The Stoic philosophers believed that true freedom comes from self-mastery. Not from avoiding discipline, but from embracing it. When you discipline your mind, your emotions no longer control your actions. When you discipline your habits, your time becomes purposeful. When you discipline your attention, your life becomes intentional. This is a very different definition of freedom than what most people imagine, but it is far more powerful. Because when you learn to control yourself, the world loses much of its power over you. The philosopher Seneca believed that a person who cannot control their desires is not truly free. They are simply controlled by impulses. True freedom appears when you learn to guide your behavior according to your values rather than your temporary emotions. This does not mean life becomes rigid or joyless. In fact, the opposite happens. When discipline becomes part of your life, your time becomes more meaningful. Your actions become more intentional. Your goals begin moving closer to reality. Small daily habits slowly compound into powerful results. A disciplined morning routine becomes a focused day. Focused days become productive weeks. Productive weeks become meaningful years. And meaningful years create a life you can look back on with satisfaction. Each morning presents a quiet choice. You can allow distractions to guide your day, or you can guide your day with discipline. The difference between those two paths may seem small at first, but over time, the results become dramatic, because discipline, repeated daily, quietly transforms your future. Every morning offers a new beginning, a moment before the world becomes loud, a moment where your thoughts are still calm, Most people rush past that moment without realizing how powerful it can be. But the Stoic philosophers believed that moment was an opportunity to prepare the mind, to remember the principles that guide your life, to remind yourself that challenges will appear, but that you possess the ability to respond with discipline, patience, and perspective. Over the past 10 years, these lessons slowly reshaped the way I approach life. They reveal that happiness does not come from controlling the world. It comes from controlling your mind. They reveal that comfort is pleasant, but growth requires challenge. They reveal that time is precious and should be used intentionally. They reveal that your thoughts shape the way you experience reality. They reveal that self-respect matters more than approval. They reveal that patience allows progress to unfold naturally. And they reveal that discipline creates the freedom to live according to your values. These lessons are simple, but their power appears when they are practiced consistently. Each morning is an opportunity to begin again, to guide your thoughts instead of allowing them to wander, to strengthen your character through small daily choices, and over time, those choices begin shaping the direction of your entire life. If this message resonated with you, and you want to continue exploring Stoic wisdom that strengthens the mind and clarifies the path forward, consider subscribing to the channel. This community is built for people who want to approach life with calmness, discipline, and purpose. And remember this: your life is not shaped by a single moment of inspiration. It is shaped by the habits you repeat every day. So tomorrow morning, when that quiet moment appears before the world becomes loud, pause, breathe, and choose the thoughts that will guide your life.